Hello.
Hi there.
Welcome back to another episode of Wicked
Mysterii.
I'm keeping it. I'm your host, Danie.
And I'm Katie.
And this is season 2, episode 5.
That's so cool. It just keeps getting higher and
You
higher.
beat me to it.
We're bringing that back.
Yeah, we are.
OG fans.
Yes.
Thanks, Miles, for encouraging it.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
All right, I'm just going to get right into it.
All right. We have a full.
Yes,
presented by the beautiful Danie.
Oh, thank you. I'm not beautiful, but thank you. I'm awkward.
You're beautiful.
No.
Shut up.
Oh, I meant to say
Shutty.
that in the last episode when we read that fan mail, and he doesn't even know how pretty we are. But
Does he follow our Facebook?
I don't know.
Because he would know how pretty you are.
Well, it was meant to be a joke anyway, so I don't want people to be like thinking that like I actually think I'm pretty. I don't. I just think it's funny to say that.
Stop it.
But
Everybody, she is pretty. She's just...
especially compared to you, especially next to you, I look like a monster.
Dude, my head is so huge compared to your head. I don't know what you're talking about. I feel like fucking Big Head from Rocco's Modern Life. Is that what her name is?
Mrs. Big Head, yeah.
Miss Big Head. What the fuck?
No, I think you're like the prettiest person I know.
Oh, shut
IRL.
up.
No, for real. Anyway.
Samesies.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
You're so ridiculous.
So before we get into this episode today, I just wanted to give a warning that this episode contains a discussion of suicide ideation. So again, if that's triggering to you, you might want to skip this episode. In 2014, Dr. Stephen Greer's YouTube channel uploaded a video called Area 51 Technician's Son Discloses Secret Alternative Energy. A user by the name of Snakebit McGee left a comment that said, quote, "This ain't nothing. I'm a long-distance hiker. One time, during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. This is one of the strangest things that ever happened to me," end quote. This comment began a nearly decades-long disappearance of outdoorsman Kenny Veach. Let's get into it. Kenny Veach, aka Snakebit McGee on YouTube, was an avid hiker and nature lover, having grown up in the desert outside of Las Vegas, Nevada. He owned a home which he decorated with his desert findings like bones and cactuses. Everything in his home was either found or made by him. A cowboy through and through, Kenny prided himself on his multi-day hikes where he took very little supplies. Long hikes into the desert will often require more water than a person can carry, but Kenny took this to the extreme, drinking only a sip of water once he became very thirsty. He did not take any sort of GPS or compass, and many hikers consider Kenny to be unprepared, and at worst, his hikes were dangerous and reckless.
But he was fine with his hikes? He was successful all the time?
Well,
no problems?
He
until
is
this
missing,
time?
so...
But prior to this, he had a big history of...
He grew up in the desert, yeah, so. And he did hike a lot with his girlfriend, too.
As unprepared he came off, he was good at it, right? Like, with being unprepared, like, even though he wasn't really...
Yeah, I think it was, like, once his YouTube channel started going, people were just, like... And especially after his disappearance, looking back on his YouTube channel, people were like, like, some of this is not very safe.
Yeah.
So, I think he did know what he was doing, but it was definitely dangerous, for sure.
Yeah.
Kenny had a girlfriend named Shuryon. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's Sheryon.
Yeah.
Shuryon.
Sure.
And they split their time together between each of their houses. At the time of Kenny's disappearance, he had not been working, and his financial problems were coming to a head. Kenny posted a video called Handsome Cowboy Sells Himself with His Home, in which he showcases all of his handmade decor. He had the very unique idea that he could auction his home to ease his financial burdens, but the catch was that he would be allowed to stay in the home. He did not have any takers.
Oh, nobody wanted to live with the handsome cowboy.
Yeah. In 2014, when YouTube users noticed his comment about the M Cave on Dr. Greer's video, they were interested. Replies to Kenny's comment ranged from disbelief to curiosity, with many asking him to return to the area with a camera to record footage. This area where Kenny said the cave was located was north of Las Vegas and the Sheep Range Mountains, which are located inside the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. This is part of the Mojave Desert in Nevada and is an area rife with old mine shafts. So,
do you think the M stands for Mojave?
No, it was like a rock formation that made the M.
So it
wasn't it was
can't
natural.
Be intentional?
No, it wasn't. I think it was natural, from what I understood.
Okay.
He just kept saying it looks like an M. It wasn't like written there or anything.
Okay.
So fun fact, there are 100,000 to 500,000 abandoned mines in the United States, but the federal government knows where only 30,000 of them are.
Whoa.
In the United States alone, 30 people die each year by falling into abandoned mine shafts. So 30 people per year die.
For it falling into abandoned mine shafts.
Yep.
Wow.
So I don't know if any of our listeners listen to Stuff You Should Know, but it's a great podcast. It's like one of the OG podcasts. And they do have an episode on this, which triggered my memory to look up these facts because it's a possibility that this happened to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But super interesting. They during the gold rush and whatnot, they just dug holes everywhere, dug mines everywhere. And there's like ecological problems with that. So they just left them abandoned because it would cost so much money to clean it up, because it's not only dangerous that you could fall in it, but there's dangerous, like gases and different things that come out of the mine. I'm sounding like such an idiot because I didn't write this down, but
no, it's
dangerous
facts,
to actually clean them up because of the chemicals that are involved.
Yep.
So yeah. Also located nearby where he went missing, or where he says this cave was, is the Nellis Air Force Bombing Range and Area 51, which adds to the allure of this legend.
Yeah. Especially, as soon as you said Las Vegas, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yep, there's lots of crazy stuff going on down there.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, over there, right.
In a comment, he said, I solo hike across mountaintops that most people wouldn't dare go. I have been in more caves than I can count. I play with rattlesnakes for fun. But this one particular cave was beyond anything I have ever encountered. Kenny attempted to find the cave again, this time with his gun. On October 18th, 2014, he uploaded a 20-minute-long video called M Cave Hike. He was unsuccessful in finding the cave, and this led to further allegations that Kenny was lying.
Yeah.
This video is still on YouTube under Snakebit McGee on his channel.
Okay, I like his name, Snakebit McGee.
Mm-hmm. So one eerie comment said, no, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out. Ooh. And he responded, what makes you say that?
Yeah.
But there was no reply. The allegations in the comment section claiming that he was lying seemed to really irk him, and he wanted to prove once and for all that he did experience something strange by the mouth of this mysterious cave. Kenny tried again to venture out to find the M Cave as curiosity on YouTube grew. His girlfriend Sheryon last saw him in a movie theater parking lot after watching a movie together. It does say in some places that she was his ex-girlfriend, so I don't know it seemed a little bit like they were on again, off again, and they didn't really live together. But they did spend a lot of time together. She uploaded a really nice like tribute video to him, and it looked like they had so much fun together. Aww. It's all just them hiking together, and it's sad.
It is.
So regardless of whatever their status was, they seem to really
have
love
a
each
good
other.
Relationship. Yeah.
So she last sees him in this movie theater parking lot. He later called to tell her he'd be heading out for a solo hike in the desert on November 10th, 2014, today. That's crazy.
You didn't realize that?
Nope, I did not.
Weird.
I wrote this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and we were supposed to record yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That is weird.
Again, with the dates.
Yeah, we've done that once before.
We've done it like a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
On the exact day?
Well, like the dates line up and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was the alien one. I remember we did that with Barney Hill for sure.
Yes.
Like that date, I think. Something in that episode anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So
yeah,
cool.
It was some anniversary that we recorded the day for Barney Hill. And then we did it again with, it was like September 14th, which...
Wow,
that's
I know. Really weird that you would remember that.
I do remember that, yeah. I know, right? All right, so anyway, on November 10th, 2014, Kenny parked his truck and took off into the desert. He was never seen again. Shuryan reported him missing, and a search was launched, which led to the discovery of Kenny's cell phone on November 22nd. The phone was found near an abandoned mine, and it would just seem to be placed there.
Weird.
But there was no indication that Kenny fell down the shaft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with all this going on, Shuryan didn't realize the YouTube community was like blowing up about him and about this M cave that she didn't really know any of that was going on.
Uh-huh.
So after a while, after some time had passed, she did post a comment on Kenny's video. So I'm going to read that comment now. Okay. She says, I am the girlfriend that Kenny spoke of in the video. There are so many posts I had no idea until a friend let me know. So many people are wondering what happened and guessing different things. You are heartfelt about the sadness around what has happened with Kenny. He has not been found, and I feel he will probably not be found for many, many months, if ever. I want to share what I know and feel about what happened, so you might bring some closure and understanding in your own lives. Kenny absolutely loved hiking in the desert. It was his very, very favorite thing to do. We hiked and camped together all over the Nevada desert, sometimes 9 hours in a day. We found many abandoned mining towns, usually referred to as ghost towns by Nevada hikers. We explored many caves and mine shafts. We were always careful about how we explored them, but Kenny was a bit more daring than I was. We wore snake guards, sun-protected clothing, and walking sticks, brought enough water and food for the hiking hours, and had extra water and food in the car. I want you to know that I do not think Kenny had an accident. I believe he committed suicide. He battled depression for many years and would not take medication or see a doctor. He quit his job a little more than a year before he disappeared. The search for him was started within a couple days of my call. Over 30 search and rescue team members searched 3 different times on foot. 1 helicopter flyover was done, and there was no trace of Kenny or any of his camping things. They found his car in the area I told them it would be. They did find his cell phone by the mine shaft in the video. The mine shaft was only about a 4-hour hike from his car. It's my feeling he left it behind so that he could not be tracked from the GPS in it. He also did not take his video camera with him on this solo hike. It was left in his home, so he had no intention of filming anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I share this with you for 2 reasons. First, so that you can have more of an understanding of who Kenny was and to bring some peace or understanding of the situation. Secondly, if any of you do decide to go out into our desert to look for him or the M Cave, be careful and bring enough water and food. Walking sticks are a good idea, and not doing a solo hike. Bring a GPS and make sure that you have let any family or friends know you are heading out for the hike and where and when you will be returning. A search really can't be on a 1-day hike. You would be repeating much of the same hike, just getting up the mountain and then being left with not many hours in the day to do the search. You would need 2 or 3 days at a time in the summer or even in the late spring, and this cannot be done because of the heat of our desert. You would not be able to carry enough water. So please be careful. I had many wonderful experiences with Kenny and will always remember them and have a place of love in my heart for him and all the wonderful things we did together. I'm healing from my loss and look forward to new experiences with desert hiking, camping, and taking beautiful pictures of our desert. Enjoy your adventures of life and thank you for the kind, loving comments sent my way.
Aw, that was
Sad, right?
Really sad, and
Yeah.
and it sounds like she was really determined to get a lot of information out to people in one comment. So she did good on covering everything.
Yeah. So there's basically 4 theories what happened to Kenny. The first is suicide. Cherion said that during a talk with Kenny, he was surprised that she never thought of suicide and told her that it was something that was on his mind frequently. Google searches on Kenny's computer before his disappearance also pertained to suicide. It is possible he faked his own disappearance, though it's very unlikely given the difficulty of doing that nowadays. His social security card, credit cards, and bank account have never been used again.
Okay.
However, on July 15th, 2018, a metaphysical shop owned by Kenny's sister-in-law had a break-in, which sparked a rumor that it was Kenny, but police have ruled this out. The burglar went straight for an iPad and other expensive items before leaving the store. Kenny and his brother were estranged for 10 years at the time of his disappearance. So a lot of people were like talking about the fact that it could have been Kenny, but I couldn't really find the footage either to compare, but it seemed to be ruled out.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was going to search for the M cave but did not bring his camera leads many to believe that he either planned the suicide or planned his own disappearance.
Yeah. Because if a bunch of people are telling you to go to the cave and show evidence and you don't bring your camera.
And he told her he was going to look for it. So he goes to look for it but doesn't bring his camera.
Right.
You know?
And then the phone was found outside of the M cave?
They've never found the M cave.
Okay,
That's the whole allure about this is like, yeah. So it was
so they found it next to a cave, but
no, it was next to a mine shaft.
Oh, a mine shaft. I'm sorry. So it was next to a mine shaft, but not okay. Yeah. Never found the M cave.
Yeah. Next theory is that Kenny perished in the desert, either after falling into a mine shaft or by dehydration or starvation. There's a lot of mine shafts out there and some that never have been discovered. So you could fall into one, like I said, 30 people a year die from that. So,
right.
And that's just 30 people that we know of.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's probably plenty of missing people that have,
And the last theory is that Kenny got too close to the base or Area 51. There are videos on YouTube of civilians venturing too close to these areas and being stopped by armed military personnel in camo. The area in which Kenny disappeared is just south of the extraterrestrial highway.
So cool.
Yes.
I love that.
So from travelnevada.com, it says, blast off on the extraterrestrial highway.
Stop it.
One spaced out trip through Nevada's alien country.
Oh my God, we need to go.
Yes. In the wide open belly of Nevada, there lies a mystery. The extraterrestrial highway runs past the Nevada Test and Training Range, including Nevada National Security Site, and the infamous portion known as Area 51, a top secret part of the base that the government didn't even admit was real until 2013, where countless strange UFO sightings have been reported. So keep those eyes peeled because you're guaranteed to see some weird stuff. Up in the sky, maybe. On the ground, 1000%. If an alien-themed jerky snack and a knick-knack-packed research center, a UFO-motifed bar cafe, and spectacular night skies full of stars and other things, get your radar beeping, then treat yourself to an unforgettable voyage along State Route 375.
I have chills.
Yeah.
I need to go down Route 375.
So we are planning a road trip.
Yeah, we are. We are.
So I told Zach, I'm like, when we go on our road trip, I want alien jerky. I will eat that. Definitely will eat that.
You definitely need to.
So I had to stop myself from going down this like super deep rabbit hole with this extraterrestrial highway. So I didn't look much more into it, but
it's so cool.
Like I didn't look up what happened as far as abductions and stuff, but it's definitely a UFO hotspot.
Yep. Anything
So another
for tourists?
possibility is that Kenny was abducted, or maybe he figured out some sort of alien or government secret with the M cave.
I mean, leaving the phone behind makes you feel like somebody was like, hey, you can't bring that in here. Put that phone down. And then they took him.
Well, where they found his cell phone was not
anywhere near Area 51.
Well,
area.
It wasn't near where the M cave, like it was on the way to where he thought the M cave was. Because in his video, the one that says M cave hike, about halfway through his hike is when he shows the mine shaft that they found his phone at.
Yeah.
So it's just like it seems like he just left it there.
Okay.
So Kenneth Lee Veach has been missing from Las Vegas, Nevada since November 10th, 2014. He's a white male, 5'8" and 140 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Kenny was 47 years old at the time of his disappearance, and today would be 56 years old.
Wow.
So I just want to read real quick a YouTube comment. It says, my uncle, Kenny Veach, was one of the best people around. Practically everything in his house he found, made, or worked his ass off for. He disappeared doing what he loves. P.S. You had the best cinnamon rolls ever. From David Veach.
Aww.
Isn't that sad?
That is.
So do you want to add anything? What do you think of this?
I think it's super sad. Obviously, like the fact that he's still missing, 9 years later, heart goes out to his family and his girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like pushing to the side of like that he planned to not come back. Mm-hmm. As sad as that is. Because like you said, he was such an experienced hiker. He grew up there. It was his passion. He had done stuff like this so many times. And the fact that he left his phone and he didn't bring the camera is just like, just a lot. I would like to think, I mean, obviously I would like for him to just show up and be alive and healthy and have a cool story like Kubaki. Right?
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But if not, and it was him taking his life, then that's super unfortunate and sad, and wish people wouldn't think it was over.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that he couldn't find the M cave, and he talks about he knows about where it is, but the desert is just so vast. And
God, and I can't even imagine trying to remember places in a big open,
Right, yeah. It's like nearly impossible to, unless you had like a GPS with you and you marked the coordinates, you could do that. But one theory I have about the M cave that I was just thinking about, because we didn't really talk about the cave itself in here, and that's kind of the allure of the whole thing, is something that we talked about in the Antarctica episode.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I'm talking about the frequency. Because he said he was vibrating.
Oh,
so
that's right.
I wonder if because it's near those bases, they're doing the ELF testing, the extremely low frequency testing like they do in Antarctica. There's like a lot of like I said in the Antarctica episode, there's a lot of bad things that it can do to the body, like leukemia and Alzheimer's being the two main ones. So it's interesting. Maybe that vibration that he was feeling could have been some kind of frequency testing, since it was near a military base.
Yes.
And since where else would they do that?
Yeah.
But wide open desert,
Yeah. The whole vibrating thing, I really did not even think about again after you said it. But yeah, that is really strange.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Havana syndrome. Have you heard of that?
I have, but refresh my memory.
It's like a mysterious ailment that happened to military officials in Cuba. And let me see what it says. The symptoms range from ringing in the ears to cognitive dysfunction. And it was reported in 2016 by a Canadian embassy in Cuba.
Okay.
So they think that this was some kind of testing on military personnel, either by our government or another government. And it really affected people, and it's pretty much an unsolved thing. They don't know what caused it, but it seems to be some kind of frequency
something
thing.
Like that. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yep. I hope someday at least there's, some closure and his body is found, his bones at this point or something.
I hope he is found just for closure for his family. He was loved and he seemed like a really great person.
Yeah, really cool guy.
Yeah. I also want to add that if you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, there's an app called White Flag, and it connects you with peers that you can get chat support from.
Oh, cool.
So White Flag's dedicated to acceptance, connection, support, and healing. Aww. And they believe in connecting people who understand each other's specific struggles and can help people both give and get help for free.
Wow, that's amazing.
So check that out.
Yeah, seriously.
You're worth it.
Yeah, you're worth it. Exactly. Yep.
All right, so I've got some listener mail.
Bring it on.
All right. Every time I try to zoom in and I close it. Like, when am I going to stop doing that? Oh, yeah. Let's see. All right. So this message is from Shanna.
Hi, Shanna.
Hi, Shanna. I found your podcast a couple months ago. Currently, I do contract work in another state. My week begins with a 6.5 hour drive to work, and then at the end of my work week, a 6.5 hours home.
Whoa.
Your podcast has made my drive tolerable.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's a road trip for us. That's like from here to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right?
That's nuts.
That's crazy. I am currently all caught up, but still listen every week. Keep it up, ladies. So many of these stories have me flippin' curious, so much so. I think I have my husband convinced to take a trip to Turkey to tour the underground cities.
Cool.
I will let you know if that ever happens.
Aww.
Crying, laughing emoji.
Thanks, Shanna.
Warmest regards, Shanna, listening in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Thanks, Shanna. That's awesome.
Do you like cheese, Shanna?
We hope so.
I fucking love cheese.
Cheese is life.
She
probably has to love cheese.
Yeah, she's a cheesehead.
She probably has like a
Send me a cheesehead hat.
She has a cheese wheel in her house. I want a cheese wheel.
The cheese wheel would not last very long in my house.
Oh my God, I want to hang it from like the ceiling and just lay there and nibble on it. I love cheese.
I do too. I really fucking love cheese.
I really fucking love cheese too. We should have a cheese eat-off.
What is wrong with you?
How do you pronounce it? Mukbang?
No, I will not.
Dude, let's do it. Viewers, listeners, do you want to hear us do a cheese mukbang?
They would just be like listening to like gross.
No, they'd have to see it. It would have to be our first video.
Oh, so also speaking of that, since you said viewers, we've been saying for a long time that we are going to record ourselves, and I think we really need to do that.
Well,
so
we have like a really like legit little studio here.
Yeah, we do. So that being said, I also want to inform our listeners ahead of time. We will probably be taking a holiday break at least for like a week or two.
We got to figure that shit out.
Yeah, we do, because we're like terrible about that stuff. Yeah. So we got to figure that out, because I'd like to get ahead with episodes and then take a break. Yeah. And so that we can focus on doing something new, like video.
Right.
We also get a lot of comments about our audio quality, and I apologize.
We hope today's better.
I do hope today's better. I've said it before, I'm not an audio engineer, nor am I a like pro editor. I do my best, but
you do fantastic.
I try. So people are like, get better mics. Like,
we
our
have
mics
good
aren't
mics.
the problem.
Yeah,
it's other things.
We have really good mics, yeah. It's the gain, okay?
Yeah, so adding like video on top of it, I know is going to add a whole new level for us, a good and bad. So I'd like to take some time and be able to work on that. But we're not going to like completely disappear. If we take a break, it'll only be a week or two during the holidays, which like podcasting is always low listenership during the holidays. So
okay, so maybe like around Christmas, like
I guess it depends on if we can get ahead, because if we can get ahead, then we can stop like spending so much time researching and recording and focus on the new things that we would like to do.
Yeah. Yes.
So we've got ideas and we've been saying it and we just haven't worked on it yet.
This is true.
So
this is true. If you want some merch, we have an Etsy, and it's tell them what our Etsy is.
Wicked Mysterious Co.
Wicked Mysterious Co. on Etsy. Yep. I just want to make a shirt that just says "Listen to Wicked Mysterious Podcast."
Yes.
Like that's it, and just put it out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then you see someone walking on the street with that shirt, the message is fucking there.
Yeah.
Listen to us. And on the back, something like, stay mysterious.
Something like
on the
or else.
Or, that's cute. I like that. We'll work on it.
I crack myself up.
We got to put something about a cabe. Enter my cabe.
I'm not going to leave.
Oh, you're not going to leave that
up in here, but
okay.
I did say cabe. Like every time I said cabe.
Multiple times. CABE. Oh, man.
We should just leave it unedited. Like,
we should. I think it would be way funnier.
Well, people I don't know. I don't want to listen to somebody stumble over their words for fucking 2 hours.
3 times the same word. I think that's pretty funny. But yeah, we are definitely hot messes over here. We just put it together. All right. We clean up all right.
Yeah, I try. I mean,
you do great. Stop.
You do it all. Again, I'm not a pro. I can barely use a computer. No, I can use a computer.
That is so far from the truth, right? I'm like,
I can use a computer,
over here. Yeah.
But again, I'm not a pro. I'm just
and I think for the most part, people are understanding about that. We are still relatively new. I mean, we're still babies. We're toddlers,
and also too, people have to understand that like listening on my computer versus the final what comes out of the speakers when you're listening are very different.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know. Like, there's so many people out there that have such perfect, crisp, clean audio, and we're just not.
I know. I think we're really close though, because now the mics are like really far. Like when I walked in today, Danie had my mic like 7 feet up in the air. I took that as okay, you're too fucking loud. So
it's not you.
Not just me. Yeah, but I think now that we have like a really good space, I think we'll be good.
Yeah. So anyway, people probably have already shut us off.
Yeah, so. That's okay. That's okay. For those that are still listening, you're awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, the best way to help us is to leave us a rating and review on Apple. Yep. And if you could tell a friend and subscribe on YouTube, that would just be so fantastic.
Tell all your friends.
Yeah. There's 2 fucking nutcases out here talking about really weird shit like they know what they're doing and they don't.
Yeah, your friends have to be weird, but if they're weird, they're cool.
That's true.
Did I already say that this episode? I think I did. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, then you can close today because I always do and I'm awkward as hell.
All right, well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Stay mysterious.